The American Sheep Industry Association conducted a small pilot project at Delta Sales Yard located in Delta, Colorado, to evaluate the feasibility of integrating an electronic identification or EID system for sheep in an auction market setting, and the benefits it could provide to the auction market, federal and state animal health officials, and producers. The objectives of this project were to 1. Assess the technology with respect to current business practices and the speed of commerce, and 2. Identify the needs and gaps in implementing an EID system for sheep at auction markets. While all auction markets share a common role, they are not alike regarding business and management practices, infrastructure, and available resources. As learned during this pilot project, a one-size-fits-all approach is not applicable to the auction market sector. It was necessary to visit Delta Sales Yard multiple times to assess their business practices and facility infrastructure, as well as discuss pre- and post-sale logistics. Every site visit presented a new challenge, intended to focus mainly on the auction market software program and technology, business practices, and facility infrastructure. Auction markets differ across regions and species. Relatively few auction markets have the infrastructure or resources available for implementing an EID system. Examples of infrastructure deficits include, but are not limited to, facility design, outdated management software, technological advancements, business practices, and cost. What was used has been adapted from alleyways and chutes designed for handling cattle. In addition, training on sheep handling and how it differs from working with cattle would benefit many employees. If EID becomes commonplace, the lack of infrastructure to support an EID system will be encountered at other auction markets and will require needed changes regarding software programs, business practices, facility design modifications, and cost in transitioning from a visual to an EID system. These challenges need to be recognized by all stakeholders working with auction markets. Recognizing there are notable differences across auction markets is critical when transitioning to an EID system. For example, Delta Sales Yard splits lots in the ring, meaning one seller and multiple buyers. This is a common practice for auction markets located in the western region of the U.S. The software system utilized by Delta Sales Yard is limited in its ability to accommodate EID for marketing sheep in this manner. This resulted in additional costs in equipment and time commitment to train employees, as well as months-long delays in implementing an EID system that could minimally function at the auction market. Often overlooked is the people factor, as not all auction market employees are properly trained in working with the technology or in the proper handling of sheep when implementing an EID system. A well-thought-out and designed electronic EID system reduces the need for extensive handling, a benefit to both animals and employees. This aspect is crucial for an auction market to successfully transition from a visual ID to an EID system. The people factor cannot be underestimated, as it will be a notable shortcoming at many auction markets. Animals arrive at the auction market in a variety of transportation modes, sometimes in horse trailers, sometimes in hired livestock trucks, sometimes in the back of a pickup truck. Regardless of how they get to the market, a dock card is created for the animals on that vehicle and given to the owner. The dock card indicates the owner of the animals, number of the animals to be sold, and the species. The animals are then taken to the pens. If the sheep or goats arrive tagged, they go straight to the pens, but if they are untagged, they go to the tagging station. Brandon Manning, with Allflex Livestock Intelligence, will walk through how a typical sale day would look like at Delta Sales Yard and the challenges that were encountered in implementing EID in this pilot project.
So once animals are unloaded and they get their document card, they come over here, the ones that are untagged. They can be sorted different ways from the same owner. Also, they go over here to the tagging station and the employees apply the Scrapie tags to the ewes, and then they'll be ready to go off to the lot numbers. If the animals are already pre-tagged with Scrapie tags, they can be sorted here or in another alley, and then they go ahead, attach the lot number, and then go to the pens. So when animals, the lambs are brought, sheep are brought into the tagging station, they're brought in through this gate, ran up this little alley, and you'll have 3 to 4 workers applying scrapie tags. A lot of them will have to be leaning over the fence to grab them and tag them, and then also up here at the gate. As small producers arrive at this auction market has a unique facility to handle small groups such as singles, doubles, triples. You've got baby lambs, baby kids. They cannot be handled and moved as easily. So they will come in underneath this shed, and they'll be placed in their pen in lot numbers.
When sheep or goats arrive without scrapie tags, the market's employees have to apply the tags. Every auction market is unique in its setup and how it designates areas where tagging will take place. For Delta Sales Yard, being a multi-species market, they have converted an area into a tagging station. It works for them, for the animals, and the employees.
The software would only recognize the EID tags for the lot that was actually going on the scale. In an ideal situation, we would put these panel readers away from the auction ring or away from the scale. You could run a lot through the reader, and you could collect the EID tags, attach the EID tags to that lot number, so that when the crew brought the lot number to the scale for the animals to sell, then the computer system would, as you ran them in there, the employee would hand the dock card to the ladies upstairs.
Readers can range from a simple handheld device to one that is more advanced, that transmits the tag numbers to an external device, such as a scale or computer. These readers can either be a wand or a stationary panel reader, which the sheep will pass by. These panels are often mounted on a raceway or scale box to capture the ear tag numbers as the animal walks through the reader's scanning field. A number of modifications were needed for Delta Sales Yard to be able to utilize the EID technology.
What we had to do is modify this alley. We replaced and put a new gate right here. We put the rubber siding up so that the animals would be blocked from the view. We added this gate here and created a funnel. So they open up this gate, and then you run the sheep, the ewes, through the reader. This reader goes through there and then directly onto the scale.
At Delta Sales Yard, all EID tags in a lot had to be read as the animals entered the scale due to software limitations for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capability. It was necessary to hardwire the internet, which means the EID tags could not be read before going onto the scale, such as at unloading. The software would only allow the EID to be read as animals entered the scale. The EIDs were attached to the lot before a weight was collected, which meant animals could not be read at any other time. When the animals are on the scale gate is closed and the dock ticket is handed to the clerks in the auction stand, and the lot is weighed. Another obstacle encountered during the pilot project occurred next. It had to do with the limitations of the auction software used by the market. The software would not allow rereading of any ID tags. Let's say their buyer only wants 4 of 5 sheep. What happens then to the one sheep turned back? The one they did not want is brought back to the scale. Ideally, the tag is read again with a stick reader, and another lot is created. Brandon explains why this became an obstacle for the market.
The sale barn will sell small groups of animals coming from small groups of producers. You can have singles, doubles, triples, all the way up to 10 head, whatever. So those are sold as one lot. For those, we would not run them through the panel reader. We have a stick reader for that. And so the lambs and the sheep get on the scale. We can take the stick reader and Bluetooth it to the software and capture the EID tags that are on the scale. The animals are weighed and they're sent into the auction ring. Once in the auction ring, let's talk about, we'll send 5 sheep into the auction ring. This was another issue with the software. It would not allow you to read the animal or the EID more than once it's registered onto a lot number. The software has to be able to read that ID and collect another weight.
For example, a buyer only wants 4 out of the 5 sheep. That one sheep will need to be read and weighed and sold as a separate lot. Once the animals are sold, the EID tag information is collected and is added to the bill of sale. A report is generated for the office. At the end of the day, the office manager can generate a report with all the Scrapie tags that were inputted, read that day for the Scrapie report, and turned in to the state. Many auction markets are hesitant to implement EID systems due to concerns on the potential impacts to the speed of commerce, business operations, and the return on their investment for the additional costs for the infrastructure to accommodate the EID reader and management software. To address the challenges experienced during this pilot project, some solutions limited the potential gain in efficiencies provided through an EID system. Holly Varner, who with her husband Dan has operated the Delta Sales Yard for 26 years, agrees that EID technology could be beneficial, but she is concerned with the software challenges her facility faced during this project.
I have had a very good working relationship with our software company from the time that we started with them, which has been 20-some years ago. Now, I realize because we have been with them so long that there are probably portions of their software that's maybe a little antiquated and is not as up to speed with some of the technology as maybe some of the other companies have. However, through the project, I have felt at times that I have been kind of caught between the EID guys and my software guys, saying it's a software problem, or no, that's your EID guy's problem. And then in the middle of all this, when my scale wasn't working, it became a scale wire problem. And I have kind of had the feeling from everybody is I'm supposed to fix this because it's my problem. The biggest problem I see with a mandate coming down from USDA is normally they want 100%. And I just don't see 100% readability as feasible, especially when this is just getting started. I think 100% is just not reachable for several years until we get maybe the technology and the software programs melded better.
The American Sheep Industry Association promotes the training of proper sheep handling and encourages auction markets to be uncompromising in their employees' handling and welfare standards for sheep. Auction market employees may need to be trained in the proper handling of sheep, as animal welfare is more than just an ethical decision. It is imperative to a successful business. Training should cover general animal handling practices, how to properly tag sheep, how to move sheep through a chute or alleyway, how to move sheep through an EID panel reader system, and scanning sheep with an EID wand reader. Sheep markets present a challenging situation due to the significant variation in auction market intake processes as they receive and sort sheep for the sale ring. Tagging takes employees and time away from the wide variety of activities that occur prior to the sale. To discourage untagged sheep, markets like Delta Sales Yard are resorting to charging fees for tagging to cover the additional labor and time needed by the market. Streamlining the official ID tag ordering process to make it more producer-friendly may provide an incentive to sheep producers to comply with official identification requirements and tag their animals prior to arriving at the auction market. The ASI pilot project was helpful in gaining an understanding of the needs and challenges that markets have to converting to an EID system. It is clear that if an animal health emergency were to occur today, an EID-only requirement would not be feasible because the infrastructure is not in place to effectively utilize the technology. Although not insurmountable, to get to a place where EID could be utilized in an animal health emergency, significant resources are needed. If the USDA wants to move in this direction, it will need to make such investments. At the start, the USDA may want to identify what the minimum level of infrastructure is needed at a market. This could be the location of the panel readers and what the minimum capabilities of the software should be, such as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi compatible. For example, if all that is needed is to know that animals have arrived at the location, then the minimum requirements might simply be the location of panel readers where livestock are offloaded. The minimum requirement of the software would be to accept the data regardless of how many animals are offloaded at a time. This way, any additional use of the technology and related software needs would be up to the market. ASI hopes the information in this video is useful and is appreciative of the assistance of USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service in carrying out the pilot project. This video accompanies ASI's Electronic ID Pilot Project Final Report, which was submitted as part of the Sheep Producer Education and Outreach Program, which is a cooperative agreement between ASI and USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. This video is intended for educational purposes, as ASI continues its efforts towards moving the sheep industry toward EID.